right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. If you are new, my name is James from Sema4. I'm a solution engineer here, and today we wanted to walk you through a couple of really interesting topics about how to get started building your first AI agent. Just a very quick agenda for us today. Want to start off walking you through just a quick intro and a recap of our last session. And then we're going to give you a high-level overview of what an AI agent is, what that means to Sema4, and how you can get started. And then we're going to actually walk you through a quick example of how to build your first AI agent. We'll take a look at a high-level use case and how you would approach that to get started. And then we'll talk about what's next and how you can do that on your own. So we're going to just jump right in, team. As a quick recap, in case you missed it, everyone, we had a session about a week and a half ago. Two of my colleagues, Lewis and Tommy, joined, and they walked you through how to get started building agents in your Snowflake environment. Sema4 can be deployed directly into your Snowflake environment. So we've got a lot of customers that are excited to start building agents that are securely governed inside your Snowflake data estate. And that's where those agents will run and operate. So very exciting platform and partnership we have there. On that call that they just gave a quick intro about who Sema4 is, all the platform capabilities, and a little bit about Sema4 Team Edition and how Snowflake and Sema4 work together really well. And so if you missed that, if you would like more details on that, I've got a link here. Happy to send that out as a follow-up as well. But to get to the real meat, I wanted to just open up quickly with a recap on what are AI agents and what is all this buzz about in the market. And we've gotten the really unique opportunity to talk to a lot of customers here in the field at Sema4. And agents and the rise of LLMs, as Lewis was talking about last week, have given us a really unique opportunity to go from a lot of these automation trends that are focused on either task automation or high-level analysis, and really be able to bridge that gap to take analysis all the way to action. So think of an enterprise AI agent as a tool that helps you get real work done, bridge those gaps between your siloed data estates, your siloed enterprise systems and apps, to be able to connect the dots between those and automate full workloads, if you will. In the Sema4 world, we want you to think of us as your horizontal platform to be able to build enterprise-grade AI agents across all of your lines of business. So we will focus on a finance back office use case today, but as we're going through this presentation, think through all of your use cases. Wherever you work today, whatever your role is, there is a line of business for you and a way to build a runbook that can automate your business workflows. So we've got a lot of really exciting customer opportunities in the legal space, across HR, all of that talent, all the talent onboarding, employee data management, et cetera, and some really exciting stuff in the procurement and supply chain spaces as well. So the most important thing that I want you to take away is that our agents are defined in English. So we give you a construct that we call a Sema4 runbook that allows you to define your process today and what you want to be automated in plain English. And we make the joke a lot, team, that it doesn't have to be English. Agents understand many, many languages, but we're here in the US, and so most of our local customers do like to converse in English. But a couple of other important traits of our agents as well is that those agents, we want to give them the tools to have a complete understanding of your business logic and your enterprise ecosystem. So we want to give them access to all the tools they need to interact with your data and interact with all of your enterprise apps so that they've got the full business context of the tools and the data that they need to get their work done. Additionally, as an enterprise platform, we want all of our agents to be completely autonomous if needed, if there's no human in the loop need there. And we also want to give you all the enterprise grade controls to be able to understand what those agents are doing and that they're securely governed, and we can create fine-grained controls around what data those agents have access to and who can interact with them. One last thing here, what makes up an AI agent? There's going to be three core themes I'm going to hit on today. The way we like to explain agents consist of three core things. One is business logic. So that tribal knowledge that's in your end user's head that has a process they want to automate, we capture that in the runbook. Next is data sources. Ultimately, in every business workflow we've come across, there is some form of data involved. Sometimes that's in the form of a document, a PDF, an Excel, a PowerPoint. Sometimes that's in a structured database like a Snowflake or a Redshift or a Postgres. We give our agents direct line of sight to both of those data sources and the ability to extract that information and work with it in a structured way to help you reason over what that data means, make intelligent decisions, and then take the next step to get real work done. Lastly, we have a construct that we call Sema4 actions, and that is really what really connects your agent to the enterprise. So actions are how we interact with your enterprise apps and all of your databases and systems as well. So we'll take a look at how all this comes together here in a live use case in just a moment. So a little bit deeper dive, everyone, on the different components of the agent, those three things that we just talked about. First, Sema4 runbooks. Our goal as a platform and as a company is we want to empower business owners and business users that are not technical to be able to build AI agents and bring all of this powerful messaging and capability that we're seeing with AI to your enterprise. And so the way we do that is we allow the business users to capture the way work gets done today in this runbook, and we let our agents take care of the rest. And so we believe that this allows for a much more rapid development cycle of agents because you don't have such a high dependency on IT to go develop. We also believe that the business users know the work best. And so we want to empower you to be able to document your workflows and be able to quickly iterate on those as business rules change and as the ecosystem around you changes as well. Next is what we call our dynamic data access layer. And again, we want to enable agents to connect to both structured and unstructured data. And we have a lot of different tools to do that. The most important takeaway here, everyone, is that we want to focus on a zero copy data access model. So we don't copy all of your data into some data lake or other data store. We give our agents direct line of sight to connect to your Snowflake, to your Redshift, or to go read that document and collect the information it needs to reason, make an intelligent decision, and then make its next action, updating a database, sending an email, updating your SAP system, et cetera. And so we've got a lot of constructs to help you both connect to databases off the shelf and create name queries through natural language to be able to ask questions about your data. Last is our action framework and our action gallery. And so these are really the constructs that agents use to go connect to those enterprise apps. We have what we call the action gallery here at Sema4, which is a pre-built library of tools that are ready to go to attach to your agents to help you connect to those enterprise apps. So we have a lot of action packs that allow your agents to interact with popular enterprise systems like HubSpot, Salesforce, Zendesk, all the Microsoft suite, all the Google suite, et cetera. And what we really want to do is enable you to get started quickly with agents, not have to develop any custom code, and additionally, allow a high degree of reusability across the enterprise. So this action gallery can be shared across your organization. You can customize it for your team, for your company, and allow all of your business users access to this library. And additionally, if you have custom systems and applications that you want to connect to that we don't have on our public gallery, we've got a full developer SDK, which we'll probably get into in a future session, that allows you to quickly build your own custom actions and add them to this gallery as well. So team, whatever everyone's probably been waiting for, how do I get started? What do I need to think about along the way? And, what's the best way to jump in? So before we get hands-on here, I wanted to talk a little bit about preparing to build an agent. We've worked with a lot of customers, and we've seen some that have had really high success really quickly, and some that have been, had trouble getting out of the gate. And I think a couple of important things to think about as you're wading into this AI agent world is really taking a structured approach about thinking about your business problems. So we always recommend to build out a tracker of your use cases. Don't just jump right in with your first idea. Our customers that have had the most success are ones that have built a backlog of use cases and really taken the time to think through which of those use cases is the highest value. How much work am I able to automate for how many people, and what's the ROI on that? And in addition, on the other side of the coin, do I have the data accessible and ready to interact in an agentic way? And so as you're starting to identify those use cases, we also recommend that you really think through what's the enterprise context that you need to get this work done. And this can be a hard thing to do because so much of the work that we want to automate today, and we've been trying to automate for a long time, is stuck in the heads of all of the people that do that work today. I can't tell you guys how many times we have run into different use cases and customers that there's one person on the floor that has all of the knowledge of their current workflow, and if that person left, there's nobody else that knows how to work through that workflow and how to navigate it. So it can take some time and some effort to think through how do we get work done today. A great place to start is if you have a documented standard operating procedure or a Visio diagram. These are all things that we can actually feed to our agents to help you get to that runbook faster. And then lastly, we always recommend that you think about the outcome you want to achieve, and you work that in. You start there with your runbook, and you make sure your runbook every step of the way is working towards that ultimate outcome. So just think through these points as you get started. We're happy to provide a tracker for you that a lot of our customers are using to help you think about prioritizing and organizing your AI agent journey. So jumping into the next slide, team, I want to talk about a little bit about Sema4 Studio. Sema4 Studio is going to be your best friend for building agents with Sema4. Think of it as a direct download client application on your laptop that has our full stack built into it to help you build agents very quickly. So you guys can all get this on our website. After the webinar, we'll have a link on the last slide for you. And this is really a tool for you to be able to go from an idea to a deployed agent that you can test and iterate on and get to production very quickly. That's our ultimate goal, is to give you all the tools you need to take an idea, get a runbook built, connect to your data very quickly, and then add those actions to connect to your enterprise systems and applications to get real value out of that agent, and at minimum see the art of the possible in just a few minutes. So we'll take a look at Studio here in just a minute. A couple of other just quick checklist items as you're getting started. If you're new to AI, new to agents, all of our agents will work with a large language model or an LLM. So just make sure you have access to one of those. You can get one on OpenAI very easily. Most of your organizations will all have some enterprise agreement with a large language model provider that can provide an API key. And these can actually be shared securely across our platform down to your users in Sema4 Studio, which I think is very cool. Additionally, just think through your data sources. You'll need to provide your agents, a typical, address, user, password information to be able to grant that agent access to that data source. So just a couple of things to think about. We'll show you how to get started really quickly, but just have those in the back of your mind. Now, everyone, this is probably the slide I'm most excited to talk about today, because this is a new feature that we're rolling out. You can see we've got it tagged as a preview item, but we've got it rolled out into Sema4 Studio today because we want to get it in your hands very quickly. And we think it's very powerful and it's only going to get better from here. We call this tool Sai, and think of Sai as your AI assistant for building AI agents. This is a tool that you can go to and have a chat with it about the use case that you want to automate without having to, take a very manual approach and write down that whole process yourself. So Sai is a conversational agent, if you will, built into Sema4 Studio that you can have a conversation with, talk to it about the work that you want to get done, and Sai will take that, work through a discovery process with you. It'll have some very thoughtful follow-up questions to help understand the intent of what you want to accomplish, and then actually write that runbook for you. So we found that a lot of our customers have great documented processes, but they weren't sure where to start building a runbook. So we wanted to build a tool to help you get there faster. And so Sai will be your best friend to go from an idea to actually a runbook and actually stitching together these three pieces of the agent to something that you can test in just a couple of minutes. And so with Sai, you've got the ability to go to an idea to a working agent in just a few minutes. And that is our ultimate goal is, reduce that development time that we're all used to with software from weeks, days, months down into minutes, and then allow you to quickly iterate and refine from there in Studio. So team, I want to add some color to this and walk you through a real live use case here. And this is just an abstracted example of a use case that's very near and dear to our heart, that we've worked on with a lot of customers, but it's something that we see across almost every industry, and that's the financial back office use case we were talking about. Invoice reconciliation seems to be a hot topic, and it's been a hard problem to solve in the past up until a lot of these advancements with AI and with agents, because a lot of these invoices that we receive and we have to process and generally compare against our records in our internal finance system, or in this case, our PO data that's in our Snowflake account. That's comparing an unstructured invoice that has a million different formats to a structured database. And ultimately today, team, what we're seeing a lot of people doing, just know you're not alone. There's a lot of copy and paste in Excel where this work happens today. And we believe this is a great ripe use case for agents to really step in, help you understand a variety of different kinds of invoices, capture the information that you need from that invoice, and then go look up the associated PO in whatever data source that your data resides in. In this example, team, I've just got a sample retail invoice, and we've got some PO data in our Snowflake account. And so we'll walk through what it looks like to put an agent like this together to actually read and understand that invoice, have access to your Snowflake account, and be able to very quickly build an agent that can compare those and give you some intelligent reconciliation results and some suggestions on what to do next if you do find a discrepancy. So team, before we jump in, I was just mentioning Sai and how Sai is a tool that you can have a conversation with. Another really cool feature of Sai is you can feed it your standard operating procedures, any form of documentation that you have on how work gets done today. I've just got a sample that we built here for Sema4.ai invoice for reconciliation enterprises here. But just an example, fill this in with your use case, your standard operating procedure. These come in a variety of formats, but we don't want you to have to read through this, do this work again. We want you to be able to give this to an intelligent AI tool that can help you read and understand that document and be able to help get you most of the way down the path of building an agent as a starting point. So team, right now I'm going to switch over and we are going to take a very quick look at what it looks like to build one of these agents with Sema4 Studio. Okay. So team, what you're looking at here is Sema4 Studio, and you can see on the right side of the screen there, we've got this Build with Sai button. So to go start building an agent, that's where you start. You click that, and you'll be presented shortly here with a just a chat UI that allows you to just feed it whatever information that you have. And so I've got just a very quick overview that says, hey, I work at a retail company. I would like to build an AI agent to help me reconcile my invoices. I've got purchase orders in Snowflake, and my invoices come in the form of a PDF. And Sai will actually jump in and walk you into this interactive experience to help you start building an agent. And so it gave me a name. I want to give it a fun one, the Reconciliation Ranger. And so I'm now having a conversation to say, hey, let's call this agent something different. We will actually generate a description of that agent for you based on the information that we have. And then it's going to start to ask some discovery questions here to try to learn more about what you want to do. Up to this point, we've only given it a little bit of information. I'm now going to go drop in that standard operating procedure, and Sai will actually ingest that document, read through all the text, all the diagrams, and use that to help understand how your work gets done today and structure that into a runbook that's built on best practices for agents working with LLMs to help you get that work done efficiently. So what's happening here, everyone, is we've just ingested that document. And you can see here in real time, we're actually writing out that runbook for you. You can see it's referencing a couple of the actions that we're going to go look for. I'm looking through them. Everything looks good, and I noticed it's using Cortex Search. So I say, no, I've used Cortex Analyst before in Snowflake. Let's use that instead. All of my data is in a structured data set. I've had really good experience with that. Let's use Cortex Analyst. And Sai will react to every input suggestion that you make, and it'll rewrite that runbook to pull in Cortex Analyst for us and make those references in our runbook for us. And so if we've reviewed this, say everything looks good, we tell Sai, let's move on to the next step. And the really cool part is Sai will go look through your action gallery and pull in any relevant actions that it needs to get the work done mentioned in the runbook. So here we've got our Gmail, our PDF reader, as well as our access to Snowflake Cortex Analyst. If you guys don't know what that is a really great native tool capability in Snowflake that allows you to chat with your data through English language questions and be able to get the answer to your question back from your data set. So I just put in a couple of credentials there to go access a specific set of data, that set of PO data that we were mentioning. And now I said, I've got all of my information set. I'm going to say, let's proceed with the agent creation. And Sai will go through the process of saving that runbook, building this agent package, and then packaging it all up into a unit that you can deploy into Studio as well as into your environment. So we're going to click deploy here, and then we're brought directly into Sema4 Studio, where we can actually directly jump in and start to ask questions of this agent and work with this agent. Team, we asked the agent in our intro to allow us to be able to send an email at the end with the results. So we've got an OAuth connection through Google Mail. So I'm just signing in right here to authenticate as myself. And once we've done that, we've got the green check mark. We are ready to go here. And so I'm going to take a quick look at the runbook before we just start asking questions. We can see everything looks good. It's just like Sai showed us in the last step. So I'm going to ask this agent, what can you do? That's our favorite question to ask everyone. If you've met us, you've probably seen that a million times. And so next, I want to say, I just want to give it an example and see how this agent does. So I'm going to give it a sample invoice. And this agent will actually start to autonomously work through the steps of that runbook as we've defined it. So you can see a couple of things it's doing here. It's ingested the invoice. It's reading the text in that PDF, and it's reasoning over that text based on the runbook, it knows we need to go look for a standard set of fields out in that invoice, and then we need to go find that same information in our Snowflake database. So what it's doing now is interacting with Cortex analysts to say, hey, I need to go find this same set of data, and now I'm going to do a comparison. And so very quickly there, we just got a quick, very simple here, everyone, but just a five line item invoice, but we got a very quick comparison, and it very quickly found that we had one line item that was off by 10 units. And so we got a great outcome there. We can jump back into the runbook here. If we want to see that data in a different way, or we want to add a new step, we can come make an update here, add a new bullet, add a new step. I'm not going to make any changes here, but that is a very quick way to be able to go quickly iterate on that runbook. As soon as you save that runbook, those changes will immediately take effect, and you can do another test cycle to look at the new output. This agent here has asked us if we'd like to go ahead and send the email. And so I'm just going to say yes. Let's email it to me, please. And then I'm going to jump off my other screen and go pull that email that this agent sent to us onto the screen, just to give you a look at what a business output might look like. And so we'll bring that over here in just a second, as soon as that email comes through. All right. So team, that's just landed in the email inbox. And then need to shrink this screen down just a little bit. And then this is just a sample output of what that agent might produce. Now, team, this was just a one-shot first runbook. We can work with this agent runbook to say, hey, I want all of my reports to be formatted in a certain way. Show this data to me in a table, not a text block. But hopefully this is an illustrative example of how you can get started with SAI extremely quickly and get to an agent that's providing value and showing you art of the possible that you can take out to your business and get deployed into a production environment very quickly. So team, hopefully that was just a good, helpful demo to show you what it looks like to build an agent with Sema4. We'd love for you to try Sema4 Studio as a next step. So what is next? We have Sema4 Studio live on our website. So this is the download link if you want to grab a screenshot, or we can drop it in the chat for you here in just a second. But we would love for you to download that, start building today. You can reach out to us from our website. I believe my email's in here as well. If you haven't met with us yet, we'd love to talk with you about all of your use cases and how you can get started. We've got a lot more exciting content coming about how to extend your agents with custom actions for systems that are unique to you, and as well as how to get deployed onto our enterprise platform as well. So team, hopefully that was helpful. We're really excited about the future for both Studio and the Sema4 platform in Team Edition and Snowflake. At this point, we're going to open it up. We've got another 15 minutes or so. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat, and we'd be happy to go through those. Got it. I think we've got one question I'm seeing. Thank you, Alexis. Wanted to know, is this AI agentic model production ready for deployment in AWS? It is absolutely ready for production. We have multiple customers in production. We have two deployment options. One is in Team Edition, where those agents will be lived and governed in your Snowflake environment. We have another deployment option directly in AWS, where you install our platform in your AWS account. So Sema4 does not have access to any of your data, any of your agents, any of your secrets, or your runbooks. That's where a lot of your business IP is. The way you do work is what makes your company valuable. So we keep that all secure. That is all governed inside your AWS or your Snowflake account. Second question, is only Snowflake supported now? No, but we have, we call it Team Edition in Snowflake and Enterprise Edition in AWS. Both are supported and production ready now. Great questions, team. Everyone's already thinking about production. I love it. So we'll have to get everyone going here quickly. Anything else, team? All right, just reading through the next couple here. Is it possible to check documents per client? Let's say a company has multiple clients for each use as an agent. So build one agent and use it for multiple clients. We've got a lot of different types of companies that we're working with, team. We've got direct customers that are building agents for their internal business to realize efficiencies there. We've got a lot of ISV partners that are building agents to go help their customers. And so the way that we are seeing them handle these types of scenarios where I want to build an agent and I want to be able to use it in multiple places to serve multiple clients. Typically, we have one agent definition, and that is hosted at your organization level. And then they would typically we call them workspaces, is where your agents would live. Workspace is kind of our isolated unit to make sure your data is secure. No one else other than the intended users at that company have access to those agents. You can deploy that same agent definition into multiple workspaces so that each agent, and that way you can customize those agents for each client if needed, but you've got the repeatability to have one source of truth agent definition that could then be published out to all of your clients where it's being used. Great question. Anything else? Love it. Is everyone, has anyone here, just fire off in the chat, has anyone built any agents yet? Would love to see a couple of likes or comments on anyone that's already gotten started. All right, looks like we've got a couple familiar names on here, so appreciate everyone joining. But we would love for everyone, hopefully you learned something, hopefully something new, something that you're excited about. Please reach out to us again. My name is James Bearden. I'm solution engineer here, so I will more than likely be your point of contact as we start to partner together. So thank you everyone again for joining. Looking forward to meeting very many of you very soon. Talk to you soon. Bye.